Hello everyone and welcome to part 3 of Race Club UK's TED Trax Tuesdays round 2. Server issues plaguing us this evening as we have been disconnected not twice but thrice, but that's okay because we have 3 races for you and the server was nice enough to come to its conclusion after the race had finished. So a win then for Rampensberger. A win for Rampensberger. Potentially unlikely. Don't think I'm being too disrespectful by saying that, given the pace at qualifying. But Rampensberger takes advantage of the incident between Dan Clegg, Matthew Simeon and Carl Sween, and takes the win. Flores held on for second from Clegg with Sween in P3. 4. My head is gone tonight, I do apologise. It's been a tricky evening with the server up and down. We've got 10 seconds off this practice session to allow people to rejoin the server. We only have 29 rejoined as we get a small echo as we await the green light. There we go, as we're underway for our third and final qualifying session this evening. Hall goes out first and we'll get track position. Dan Clegg is second on track, Lovejoy in third, Paul Alex fourth, Dawes fifth on track, Hacker sixth, Bellamancia in seventh, at least as it stands in track position anyway, as they now have a gaggle of cars leaving the pit lane. And what we are going to do is very likely come on board. Who will we go with? Let's see. I think the Race Club UK fans want to see Michael Adenal do a lap, so we'll watch for the 36 Honda leave the pit lane. So one more race to go this evening, one more 20 minutes sprint race. Again, a very warm Silverstone for our final race this evening. It's been a tricky one to follow. We've had a race win from Dan Clegg and Rampensberger. Race win for Rampensberger and Dan Clegg. Will there be a third winner this evening? Only time will tell. And we watched Lovejoy on the last qualifying lap, so what we're going to do is try and find someone who we've not seen do a lap yet. And that man is going to be Gregory Bellamancia. Is off track on the exit of the final corner. I hope that doesn't disallow his next lap. It has. Hopefully it is allowed to continue his lap. Let's jump on board with the Nissan, or even validate his lap. Let's jump on board with someone else. So thank you all for coming back, the co-driver people who have came back to watch the final race off the stream. Thank you very much for your patience with us while G-Portal does some G-Portal things. Let's watch the car up ahead, actually. Car 919's off track. Just up ahead of us here, parked at the side of the road. That is Bellamancia actually in the Nissan. Michael Adenal has joined the track. So we'll jump back with the Yorkshireman as the qualifying session progresses. We'll keep an eye as well on the left hand side of your screen the leaderboard for the final qualifying session as drivers begin to put some times in. I think it's going to be Flores who crosses the line first, as he's now got his right foot down on that Mustang and the big V8 pushing itself to the line. And Flores is not the first to cross the line. My apologies for that one. Maybe went invalid, not too sure. It is only one lap magic, of course, one hot lap to get the job done. No one's really set a hot lap as it stands. I think we're going to get one now though, as Hall comes across the line 1:59.6. Clegg goes a 1:59.0. That's not the best time from Clegg. Lovejoy goes into P2. Paul Alex provisionally on pole position. As we're watching Michael Adenau come out of the Maggott and Beckett sequence. He now goes on the long run down the hanger straight into Stowe. What's the Honda like on turning? You can't tell if these drivers are pushing the cars to the absolute limits, because it's just such a big risk if you lose the car. We are got yellow flags showing in sector 1, but that's likely drivers who have finished their laps. Just getting out the way as Adenau has invalidated his lap, unfortunately. What's happened? I've somehow jumped into his car. My apologies, I somehow jumped into somebody's car and can't seem to leave. There we go. Who is still out there? Who's not set a lap time? Who can go first? Flores is going to come round the final corner now. What can Flores do? Can Flores dethrone Paul Alex? Comes across the line now. No, only good enough for P4. Alex Simon comes home in P2. Rampensberger is third. And now we've got some more cars coming across the line. That's car number 17. That's Carl Sween. Can Carl Sween do it again? The American comes across the line and goes pole. 50 milliseconds separates himself and Paul Alex. He'll be absolutely thrilled with that time. 1:58.7. Car number 29. That's Tom Hockley in the Ted Trax racing car. Crosses the line, 22nd. And one more car to come across the line. That's car number 95. As Gordon has already set a lap time coming into the pits at the end of his in-lap. So that's the third qualifying session in the books for this evening. Let's have a look and see the timing boards. So Carl Sween seems to have that middle sector absolutely mastered. 1:58.752. 50 milliseconds ahead of Paul Alex. Mathieu Simon in P3, another great showing from the Frenchman. The Porsche running well round here, and Rampensberger again putting himself in position to take advantage of any potential issues that may occur in front. Flores is starting in P5, Lovejoy in P6, Dan Clegg down in P7. We'll look to see the Bet GT3 Team Slap Sabouer come through the field and challenge the podium potentially. Barros 8th, Evans 9th, and Hall rounds out the top 10. Hermazin gets Alexis up into P11 with Clements 12th, Godin in 13th. Dawes again first in class for Arm. Herman takes first in class for the silver. Remember, Evans is incorrectly marked as a silver driver due to an error with the timing boards. Lofstrand 16th, Demi 17th, Franciosi in 18th, Bird 19th, Cedric 20th, Metzger 21st, Hockley 22nd, Hutchings and Van Linter 23rd and 24th, Clark and Archer were the last two to set a time. Amphiletsi in chat, Clegg in 7th, shocker. I mean, most people when they finish qualify in 7th would be absolutely thrilled. Inter Milan FC Esports is apparently Christos. In the YouTube chat there, completely different name, unexpected. The track is green. That's interesting. So, in game, in the server, there has been 5 hours between qualifying and the race in game time. That may mean there may have been a shower in between, a rain shower in between that time, and that's washed the rubber off the track. What that means is, when these drivers push very hard at the start of the race, they might begin to grain their tyres. Now, I did explain this last week. I'm going to do it again for anyone who wasn't watching. That's like if you picture a rubber or an eraser, if you're that way inclined, and you rub that on a piece of paper, and I am quoting Martin Brundle here, if you rub that on a piece of paper, all the little rubber bits start coming off the rubber, all the little flakes appear and, come off the tip of that rubber, and that decreases the contact patch for the tyre on the track, which then reduces grip, and you just need to drive through that to wear it all off evenly. That may occur here because we've got a green track and the tyres are going to be cold, so that's more likely for that to happen. Makes it for an interesting race for us, absolutely, and we've got an Aston Martin on the front row this time, alongside that Porsche. We've got 30 seconds to get this race underway. We'll see which drivers elect to start from the pit lane.
20 seconds.
Got a good view of the field there, looking a little bit further down. We can kind of see all the cars aligned on the grid. 10 seconds left then for the third race to be underway, as Sween is going to get the formation lap underway. As you can see, we're cheated and we've not followed the leader off. This will now get us underway, so again, let's have you one more look at the track for this evening as all these wonderful liveried cars move us away. We're going to watch the Trax racing car of J Craft. Again, Trax Racing, their mission to get youngsters into motorsport at any level. We do appreciate the steps that some of these drivers have to take. And it's a very daunting task to get into motorsport, especially karting, with the initial outlays, financial outlays involved. Their mission at Trax Racing is to try and minimise that hurt. They are a non-for-profit organisation, and there are many ways to get into motorsport, such as this. This is esports. It is one of the many avenues that you can get involved with if you do want to get into motorsport, and also is a sport now in its own right as well, with all these esports series flying around. Trax Racing is committed to helping youngsters overcome those barriers. So do have a look at their website. Just Google, don't jump onto Google or whatever search engine you use, Trax Racing. You can find out a little bit more about them. They are in sponsorship and partnership with Race Club UK, an established sim racing league, and if you do want to take part, do have a look on thesimgrid.com for Race Club UK. I will be here every single Tuesday night this season to bring you the action from 8:15 here on Race Club UK's YouTube channel. So do not miss that. We have got the final race of our triple header this evening. The stream, of course, split into 3 parts this evening due to some server issues with G-Portal doing G-Portal things. If you have ever used G Portal, you will understand. Mark Bird coming in the YouTube chat there, just letting us know that for whatever reason the game had bugged and not let him pick drive. So for those of you who may be unfamiliar, when the countdown timer we see on the screen before the formation lap kicks off, the drivers do have to say ready. That you can see on the top of my screen actually it's flashing drive. They have to hit drive before the formation lap starts. If they do not, they end up in the pit lane. I think the same things happened to Metzger and Hockley in the other Ted Trax racing car. So up front now, these leaders will need to start getting the pack backed up, because there's quite a bit of a gap there behind the 140 car of Cedric and Hutchine. That's likely due to the cars in the pits. They'll really have to get them going now and back the pack up. Fast hot lap, obviously trying to get the tyres nice and warm to minimise the graining that we discussed, they talked about earlier on. That might impact the drivers as we get underway this evening for the final race at the very sunny Silverstone this evening. And I have been told that, oh, that's a Ford Mustang. That's Flores going into the pits on lap 1. So Flores is obviously maybe not fueled or got an old set of tyres on or something, feeling the need to jump into the pits. But as we come onto the start finish straight, Sween in the green car, Paul Alex in the black car on the left, as we await the green flag to go racing for, and we are green racing for the last time here at Silverstone. Incredible start by the two post drivers. The Aston Martin very slow off the line. A little bit further back, everyone seems to have got through relatively safely. Ben Goddins in 13th through cleanly through Cops. Everyone else seems to have got through. Look at this pack, stop go penalty dished out there for somebody being out of position potentially, as Tom Hockley, as we see, that's the yellow Ferrari facing the wrong way, and we've also got the green McLaren turned around. Unfortunately, it's a great start for Sween as he pulls out in. The driver tracker is panicking, it's all gone wrong, but it looks like it is indeed Sween out in front. Car 101's facing the wrong way as well, and car number 7 has been a multi-car pile-up on the hangar straight for the final race. That's Bellamancia, Watson and potentially Archer as well. Well, as Archer we've seen facing the wrong way. Flores, who rejoined from the pit lane, is going to get himself a couple of freebies, and Watson looks to be heavily damaged. But this now looks like a fight between Sween and Simon on the way into Vale for the first time. He's ran wide, and action all through the back off the field as well. Car's facing the wrong way, and a very slow moving car has just been shunted by Herman out of the way. The yellow flags, that was car number 51 who's had enough and now ported it back. No, they're not, they're still there. That 51 was Rampensberger. That's the winner of the last race. So Rampensberger's had an absolute nightmare for the final race this evening. And this pack is all closed up. Sween, Simon and Alex only half a second apart. Clegg's up into P5 already. Clegg has taken Barros and Hermsen. I've probably got a couple of freebies actually with what happened earlier on. Car number 8 moving slowly down the back straight. That is Clark, who's about to lose another position. Clark, oh! Well, that Mustang's taken a big chunk out of a barrier somewhere. Yes, indeed. So Sween's out in front, where he wants to be. Everyone else seems to be coming through Liner Stern, through Maggots, Beckett's, to come down the hangar straight into, I am still adamant, is the best overtaking opportunity on the track. Potential move going on here with the Ted Trax racing car down the inside of the McLaren, gets on the grass and then goes too deep into the corner. Frank Chiossi keeping the position on this occasion. Packer now on the back of Rampensberger. Both of these guys now suffering from some damage. We've got 4 cars in the pit lane. This car number 3 now rejoins and takes the track. That is Dres Flores in the pits again. The Ford driver being in the pits twice in 2 laps. The track ramping up nicely on the top right of the screen. You can see the track is now fast. It was green earlier on. So that's with all the drivers putting the rubber down, but who has went too hard, too fast? Who has pushed their tyres to the point where they will not be at their stickiest? So we're looking on board from the driver in 5th place, that's Dan Clegg, who's just set the fastest lap of the race. They're on the back of Lovejoy, and we can see Clegg just pushing the wrath of the stewards here for track limits. As everyone looks to get that little edge over their opponents, picking up the grass, using all of the available track and just a little bit more. Great views here at Silverstone in the sunset as we look backwards down the Hanger Straight. And we see the braking, difference under braking I think is really rare. The top drivers in a Centro Corsa competizione make up their time. They can just brake so much later. Look at the speed the BMW is able to carry through the corner and into the apex. Dan Clegg hugging all these apexes like it's his favourite granny in the whole world. We'll keep an eye on him. Hall a little bit further back. Seems to be involved in a little bit of a fight here. We've got a Lexus train again, beginning to hold everyone up. Ben Gordon's had a great start now up into P10. Look at this Lexus. It is definitely a Lexus train. So we've got Hermsen in the Lexus, Evans in the McLaren, Hall in the Ferrari, and then Gordon in the BMW. But just up ahead, Evans looks like he's right on the tail of that Lexus, but the straight line speed of that absolute monstrosity is enough to keep it ahead on this occasion. Evans thinks about trying to take the late apex out of Luffield, maximises exit speed. He has to do something different because the Lexus will just pull away on the straight. He maybe needs to enter the straight with a higher speed, but again look at the difference. And the McLaren, of course, not the best car on the brakes, has tin cans for brakes, as someone once famously said. But now look at this. This is now Evans under pressure from Hall, because he's now been held up by the Lexus, and Hall, of course, that Ferrari is very quick in a straight line. Just all these cars. Oh, it's a potential late move defensively by the McLaren. Great job by Hall keeping out of the back there. That was good driving. This battle really beginning to hot up between these 4. Now 5 cars as Clements has joined the back of this pack. Dawes is still running very well in P13 overall, but first in class. And Herman in the Porsche for the Flying Eagles team, leading the silver class for the time being as well. At least 5 cars now on the absolute ragged edge, as we're now watching Evans edge closer and closer and closer to the back of that Lexus. We see all 5 of these almost pushing each other down the track. Clements thinks about a move on Gordon as well, not this time. But look at that, the Lexus just understeers wide. And he needs to be careful, does Evans. He doesn't leave the door wide open for Hall behind him. This is such an enthralling battle We do have a look back at the front. Sween still leads Simon, still leads Alex, Lovejoy and Clegg in the same order in that battle as well. Barros is now set the fastest lap of the race, catching up with the pack. The leaders are in and the leaders are now about to join a lapped car. So we'll follow up with these guys in a second, but look how close this battle is just now. Helicopter again picks up that fantastic view down to Maggott and Beckett's. Hall's got a view he does not really like at this point in time. The Lexus again just edges through ahead, and these three at the front are now very close. Simon's got in front of Alex. We've just moved away from the battle. Car number 99, Hutchins, facing the wrong way. Oh, no. Oh, I was so close as they came flying round the corner, which would have been blind. Nearly had a massive accident there as they now come round this new twisty section at Farm the Loop. And there's contact. Paul, Alex and Simon have made contact on the exit of the loop. And that's put Simon down behind Clegg. As Clegg has got through ahead of Simon. Clegg's now up into P4. That's put a big gap now between those drivers, and that's maybe taking the sting out of that battle just a little bit. These guys, of course, still fighting hard. This is the battle for 7th. We're halfway through this race as well. It's been such an exciting race, we've hardly noticed all the action that has gone on. Just to come round Copse Corner now. That McLaren is glued to the road, as is the Ferrari. Ben Godden takes a tactical track cut in an attempt to move up to the back of this lot, whether it's tactical or just a massive chunk of understeer. Only he will know, just like only Lewis Hamilton will know what happened into Copse on that fateful day. Right now we are watching much more skilled drivers than that. We are watching Evans just show his nose just behind Ben Godden, thinks about a move down the outside, and he's lost the rear end of that BMW, not able to keep up with Ben Godden's demands. And he's now back defending again from Chris Clements. A little bit further behind. Great performance from Jorgen Rust Racing this evening. Clements and Lofstrand both running well at this point in time. Chris Dawes, of course, in the pink Ferrari just in front, still leading the AM class. It's been a good performance from them so far. Dan Clegg now closing ever so slightly onto the back of Lovejoy. This is a good recovery from the Englishman. This is the view on the front of Evans. He's flashing. Not sure how sportsmanlike it is to flash the car you're trying to overtake. Definitely a little bit of frustration beginning to seep through from Evans. Again, you can see how close they are. You would struggle, honestly struggle, to put your toenail clippings in that gap. I apologise for being so disgusting. White cars off track, a little bit further back there. We've got car number 36. That's Adenal off track at the loop. And this is potentially the move here then, as they were almost side by side. Surely not into Maggott and Beckett's. No, but he's not done it this time, and that's put him out of position. The Lexus struggles through the corners, and then the driver will put his right foot to the floor and potentially make a move. But look at Hall. Hall's now got the slipstream on Evans. Evans goes defensive. Can Hall swing it round the outside? He can't. He's going to maybe get a better exit, able to get on the power earlier. It's of course been another tricky corner. As Godden almost almost careers into the back of Hall, but nothing doing this time. Clegg has got himself past Lovejoy and now moves up into P2. Lovejoy's got Paul Alex all over his rear end. Barros again has moved slowly into this pack, but Carl Sween's just danced away at the front. Look at this. They're so close battling here. This is Hermsen just holding off Evans. Still, it's been a battle for the last 15 minutes and he's all over the track. He's weaving, trying to cut the toe. He goes back to the racing line. That is allowed. You're allowed to make one move and there's contact. It was all happening. We've seen it coming. It was going to always end in tears. But Evans has hit the back of the Dutch Hellenic Raging. I'm sure that's meant to say racing on the driver tracker there. If it's not, I'm sure he is absolutely raging at this time after being hit. And I'm raging too. It's put the end to our incredible battle. So let's go and see who else is having a good old Barney through the field. So we've got Herman here for Flying Eagles ahead of Lofstrand in the second Jürgen Rust racing car. Francosi has been held by the Lexus in front of him. Car number 8 is facing the wrong way at Copse Corner. We've just passed Copse Corner. That's Clark. Clark showing us the yellow flag. He's parked up at the exit of Copse. He's just looking for a safe point to rejoin his car 36 makes his way through. And he rejoins safely. Good stuff. So Hermsen's ended up still behind the Lexus, and this time I think he's going to find a better way through as that Lexus looks very damaged. As the sun begins to set not only on Silverstone but also on round 2 off Ted Trax Tuesdays here at Race Club UK. Action going on at the front as Clegg's under severe pressure now from the Aston Martin off Lovejoy as Lovejoy pulls out to the inside. Clegg sweeps round, takes the racing line and keeps position, but look how close Lovejoy is to the rear of Dan Clegg. And maybe there's a small error being made by Clegg and that's allowed him to close up as he did. Needs to be careful because Paul Alex is still there. Paul Alex has not given up. He's still in P4. He wants that podium. Oh, very close and almost thinks about a move there, but it's not the right line, unfortunately. As the field now begins to spread out for the last couple of minutes here, Evans has now got past the Lexus that was giving him so much grief earlier on in the race. Hermsen now rounds at the top 10 and he's now got a gaggle of cars behind him vying for that position. Ben Godden still feeling the pressure as well from Chris Clements. Oh, there's Kraft in the Ted Trax car, tries to get through Lofstrand. And this is what's so great about Race Club UK is there's just battles all throughout the field. No matter your skill level, you will always find yourself a dance partner. And a lot of these drivers are very experienced as well. They've been racing for months, sometimes years. They know how to race alongside each other. Inevitably, when you do have cars, 32 cars, vying for position, the same piece of track, some of them are eventually going to run into each other, but it's the attitude behind it, the willingness to own up to mistakes and learn from every incident involved in, that makes Ted Trax Tuesdays with Race Club UK such a rewarding experience to drive in. If we're coming to the final 2 minutes of the race, and if you do want to get yourself involved in some of this action, do have a look on SimGrid, search for Race Club UK and see how you can get involved. Clegg's had an incident. Clegg's been off track. Clegg is down in P6. What's happened there? Maybe an incident with Clegg and Lovejoy. We've just missed that situation unfold. Or maybe Clegg's been off track. He's now behind Barros. Barros having a great race, but I suspect this one might be a tasty battle as we come into the dying embers of the race. One minute left to go. Has this pace been as frantic? Sween does have a couple of seconds gap if he chooses to back off to make this the last lap. We'll only find out in the next 45 seconds, as Clegg's now all over the back of Barros. Does Clegg throw it down the inside here? He does think about it, but he moves back to the racing line and does a little bit of trail braking, and the back end is looking very squiggly indeed. Simon's now 0.9 off the back of Lovejoy. 26 seconds remain on the timer. Does that mean there's 26 seconds left off the race as Kraft, Lufstrand and Herman are vying for P12? 10, 9, does Sween just elect to back off here? 5, 4, he's going for another lap there. One more lap again in this race. We're getting 11 laps at Silverstone, the home of British Grand Prix racing. Clegg will be thrilled with that, as it gives him some more time to try and get himself past Barros as they now come through onto the Maggots and Beckett sequence. So they'll jump onto the Hangar straight, and Clegg will be hoping for a little bit of slipstream on the run down to Stowe. I think he's close enough, you know. I don't think he's close enough to make the move stick. The McLaren's not the fastest on the top end. Clegg thinks about a move down the late, then the inside late, doesn't do it. He's backed out of it. He's thought better off it on this occasion. Rampensberger coming back through the field. No one really knew him in the same class. It's unfortunate what happened there. We'll just keep one eye on the battle up ahead as well with Lovejoy and Simon, as that gap's closing down. Not as close as this one, but has closed down a lot in the last couple of laps. We're on board with Clegg on the final lap of the race. The McLaren goes slightly defensive. Clegg cannot buy an apex into that corner. And Alex just in front of this lot as well. Simon's lost a little bit of a gap now. That might be the end of that particular bit of action, because we are now coming to the end of the race, and it's been a masterful performance finally for Sween as he comes through the final corner and going to take the checkered flag and win race 3 here at round 2 of TED Trax Tuesdays. Lovejoy comes home and takes second. Simon third with the fastest lap. Alex fourth. Barros just holds on at the last second from Clegg. Hall comes home in 7th place. Ben Godden comes home in P8. Clement's flashing lights in celebration at 9th, with Evans rounding at the top 10. The head of the Lexus train, Hermsen, comes home P11. Herman 12th. Kraft 3rd. Oh right, okay. Herman 12th, Kraft 13th, Lofstrand 14th. Demi takes the win over Cedric and Am-Class with Dawes in P3. Van Linter comes home in P18 with Rowlands in P19. Francosi is still racing now 20th, Rampensberger 21st. Hutchins 22nd. Oh no! Right guys, come on. We don't like to see that. That was Hutchings and Jarnigan crashing into each other intentionally at the end of the race. Bird 24th, Hacker 25th, Adano 26th, Flores 27th on a two-stop strategy, still racing. Interesting strategy, but did seem to work. We've got a car that looks like to have run out of fuel on the start-finish straight there, as Metzger crosses the line 0.2 seconds ahead of Archer. Archer, of course, one of the cars that was off track at the end, and Watson is the last person to cross the line. Hockley did not finish. Holy moly, what a race this evening. If you're going to look back on the stream, do remember there are 3 parts to the stream this evening due to G-Portal doing G-Portal things and having a good old crash fest. I will be back next Tuesday night. We'll be live from around about 8:15. I've actually forgotten, believe it or not, what track we are at next week. That's very embarrassing for me. I'm sure I'll pick up with that in a second. Winners this evening, congratulations to Dan Clegg, Ramsenberger, number 51 McLaren, also chalked up a win in race 2, and Carl Sween finally crossed the line in P1 in race 3. Congratulations to all our podium finishers, and a massive congratulations to everyone who finished this evening, everyone who had an incident and continued to drive. A massive congratulations to yourself. It's great for the stream, it's great for the league, and of course you will chalk up your championship points. So congratulations to everyone this evening. And a big thank you, of course, as always, to Ted Trax Racing, without whom this season would not have been possible. Next race, we are at the Red Bull Ring, one of the newer tracks on Assetto Corsa Competizione. Will the drivers have had time to master the layout with its long straight and sweeping corners? We'll find out next time. My name is Gogs Brown. I've been in the commentary position this evening. I will be again with you next week. Do join us next week for round 3. Do not go anywhere. 90 minutes special endurance race coming up in Austria. Until then, take care. Good night.